Long ago, in the cold northern lands of ancient China, there lived a man named Gong. He was 90 years old, bent with age, his beard white as winter frost, yet his eyes still burned with stubborn fire. In front of his small house stood two monstrous mountains, Taihang Mountain and Wangwu Mountain. Their jagged peaks clawed at the sky like the backs of sleeping beasts. They blocked the sunlight in the mornings and cast long black shadows over the village at night. Every journey beyond the mountains became a torment. The villagers had to walk for days around steep cliffs, through forests haunted by wolves, and across rivers swollen with rain. Many travelers vanished in the misty passes and were never seen again. Gong had buried friends, neighbors, and even family members whose lives had been stolen by the cruel mountains. One storm-filled evening, thunder shook the earth while Gong sat beside a dying fire. He stared into the darkness outside his window and finally spoke. "These mountains have cursed us long enough," he growled. "I will tear them down." His family stared at him in horror. His wife's hands trembled as she whispered, "You are 90 years old. Your bones ache when you walk. How can an old man destroy mountains that have stood since the beginning of time? And even if you could break them, where would you throw the rocks and earth?" Gong slowly rose to his feet. Rain hammered against the roof like war drums. "If my hands cannot finish the work," he said, "then my sons will continue. If they fail, my grandsons will continue. If they die, their children will continue. But the mountains will never grow larger. One day they will fall." The room fell silent. At dawn, Gong carried the first shovel to the mountain. His sons followed him. Then his grandsons. They hacked into the black stone beneath a sky stained grey with ash-colored clouds. Every strike echoed through the valleys like the blows of executioners. Blood soaked their hands. Their backs split open from exhaustion. Yet they continued. An 8-year-old boy, the son of a poor widow from the neighboring village, joined them. Though thin and weak, he carried stones heavier than himself without complaint. The villagers watched in fear and disbelief as the family worked through burning summers and freezing winters. For nearly a year, they dragged rubble to the distant sea of Bohai. They crossed dangerous cliffs where one wrong step meant death. Some nights they slept beside the road with only the howling wind for company. Still, every morning, Gong returned to the mountains. One bitter afternoon, an old scholar named Su saw them digging beneath a blood-red sunset. He laughed cruelly. "You foolish old man," he sneered. "You are too weak to pull weeds from the earth. Yet you dream of destroying mountains. You will die long before you move even a single peak." Gong leaned on his shovel, breathing heavily. His face was lined with dirt and sweat, but his eyes remained fierce. "You misunderstand," he said quietly. "I will die, yes. But my children will continue. Their children will continue after them. Generation after generation, without end. But these mountains cannot grow. Every stone we remove brings them closer to death." For the first time, Su had no answer. The old scholar felt fear crawl through him, because he realized Gong's determination was darker and stronger than the mountains themselves. The gods in heaven watched silently. Year after year, Gong's family continued their endless labor. The sound of iron striking stone rose day and night like a curse upon the earth. Even the Emperor of Heaven became uneasy. He feared that if Gong's will was left unchecked, humanity itself might one day reshape the world through sheer determination alone. But the Emperor was also moved. So, under a moonless sky, he sent two giant gods down from the heavens. The ground trembled as they descended. With hands larger than towers, the gods lifted Taihang Mountain and Wangwu Mountain from the earth. Rivers changed course. Forests shattered. The sky roared with thunder as the mountains were carried far away into the wilderness. When dawn came, sunlight flooded Yugong's village for the first time in centuries. The mountains were gone, and though Yugong was old and close to death, he stood beneath the open sky smiling, knowing that even the gods themselves had bowed before a human will that refused to surrender.